So I don't think we have a lot of time, so we're going to skip a number of questions. And because there are a number of issues on how, for instance, if they're when you represent a state, I mean, there are different departments that are involved. There may be different ministries, so there may be clashes between them. How do you navigate this kind of issues? These are all practical questions that I think are important to address, but we don't have so much time. I'll just move to the last part of this conversation is to entering into settlement agreements for states and state entities. And which is the government body that is responsible for this, for the initiation or acceptance? What are the factors, considerations that come into play? Whether it's how reluctant, how states are they reluctant or not to get into settlement agreements, and why? Is it something that the fact that a government may change, for instance, or there are upcoming elections that plays into this? So I'll just throw these questions to you, whoever wants to start. Yeah. Claire? Yeah.
So at least for Greece, the legal counsel of the state, according to its rules of procedure, is the one responsible for the settlement of arbitrations that the state is the party. The problem that may arise is that the committee that will negotiate the settlement is not necessarily that it will be composed by members from the legal counsel of the state. So in the committee, there might be people from the ministry itself, some higher government officials. And at least in my opinion, this is where the problem might start, because it's quite important to have the lawyers that they have already handled the case in the committee be there, because they know better the legal issues that they are at hand, and they might offer better advice for the settlement. Nevertheless, on the other hand, what we, of course, have and we all know is that settlements is usually not necessarily a legal decision. It's more a political decision. And a lot of political considerations, they come into play, and some others take the decision, let's say not the lawyers or the members from the legal counsel of the state. Now, I think what is important, though, as a consideration is also if the settlement could be done, let's say, through a legislative amendment. I think that could also be helpful, maybe, and could save, let's say, the state officials from the burden, from the fear, the political fear of this decision-making. And another thing is that usually what happens is that there are various disputes that they are pending with the party and the state, and they might be pending before civil courts, before administrative courts, even before different arbitral tribunals. So I think the key is even try to maybe settle, or to settle all of them, maybe in a holistic approach, or at least some of them. And I think put everything in the table might be useful, and might even you might even reach a better settlement as the state.